Hi, hello everyone! I'm Toshi from Japan and tourist guide for foreigners. In this video, I'll show you 30 bad tourist behaviors in Japan in 2025.
I've lived in Japan for over 30 years and traveled to more than 75 countries. With experience guiding over 200 tours, I've realized that Japan has many unique, unspoken social rules that are quite different from those in other countries. If these rules aren't followed, even unintentionally, Japanese people may feel uncomfortable or offended. That's why I've created this video to introduce 30 important behaviors to keep in mind while traveling in Japan. Knowing them will help you enjoy your trip even more, and may even lead to meaningful encounters with locals. Plus, I also offer guided tour in Japan, travel itineraries based on trip duration and area, and recommendations for unique cultural experiences.
You can find more information in the description below. So, let's get started. Number 1. Don't expect everyone to speak English.
Many Japanese people don't speak English fluently, so when tourists start speaking English right away, it can actually surprise or even overwhelm them. But don't worry, most Japanese people have studied basic English in school, so if you speak slowly and clearly, there's a good chance they'll understand you. Still, assuming everyone speaks English like you do isn't always fair. If you can use just a few simple Japanese phrases, like arigato thank you or sumimasen excuse me, it can really go a long way. It shows effort, respect, and often brings a smile.
Remember, Japan is incredibly welcoming, but meeting locals halfway with language can make your experience much more meaningful. Number 2. No photo inside store or private property.
Let's discuss a significant aspect when you're in Japan: photography rules. In some places here, taking photos isn't allowed, and you'll spot signs indicating such areas. It's crucial to respect these rules and refrain from taking pictures in those places. Moreover, a recent report from the Japanese government highlighted incidents of tourists trespassing onto private properties for photography. Specific regions like Bae in Hokkaido, Funaya in Kyoto, and Gion have been affected. So, if you encounter a no photography sign or suspect it's private property, please avoid taking pictures. Remember, these areas are people's shops and homes, and their privacy deserves respect.
Number 3. No chasing Maiko.
These graceful figures are sometimes seen strolling through the streets in Kyoto. Now, it's essential to understand that they are not there for a photo shoot like the popular characters, but on their way to work at the theater. Sadly, some tourists have been chasing them or even attempting unwelcome photos or physical contact. Some overseas guidebooks say that if you go to Kyoto, you can meet Maiko, but this is not the case for those walking around the city. So, if you come across one of these captivating figures, please be respectful. They're professionals going about their business.
Avoid chasing them or trying to get their attention for a photo. Number 4. Souvenir shops and photo booths.
Japan's souvenir shops are full of fun and unique items like funny hats, cool sunglasses, and cute accessories. It's totally understandable that you might want to snap a quick photo. But here's the thing. Taking pictures of items you don't plan to buy can be seen as disrespectful by store staff. These items are for sale, not for free photo ops. If you really want a photo, it's best to either buy the item or politely ask a staff member for permission. A simple, "Is it okay to take a picture?" goes a long way and shows respect.
Number 5. Escalator etiquette.
In Japan, escalators have an unspoken rule that many tourists don't realize. You're expected to stand on one side and leave the other side clear for people in a hurry. If you block both sides, it can cause frustration or delays. But here's the twist: the rule changes by region. In Tokyo and most of eastern Japan, people stand on the left and walk on the right. In Osaka and western Japan, it's the opposite: stand on the right, walk on the left. So when in doubt, just follow the locals. It's a small thing, but it really helps everyone move smoothly. Number 6. No smartphone while walking. Smartphones have become an indispensable part of our daily lives. However, the practice of walking while using smartphones has raised concerns, notably due to its association with accidents and safety risks. In Japan, there's a growing initiative, led by mobile network providers and local authorities, to discourage smartphone use while walking. Certain regions have even implemented local ordinances specifically banning the use of smartphones while walking, with the possibility of fines for violators. Therefore, when visiting Japan, it's crucial to remember and be mindful of this regulation for everyone's safety. Thank you for your understanding.
Number 7. No eating or drinking while walking.
Let's talk about a crucial travel manner in Japan: eating or drinking while walking. In Japan, it's considered impolite to eat or drink while walking, a habit often taught from a young age. While it's not a legal restriction, it's best to avoid it. However, there's a unique term in Japan known as eating while walking in Japanese. But it refers to purchasing food from a street vendor or stall and enjoying it in front of the shop or designated areas, rather than consuming it while walking. So, the key is not eating while walking.
This etiquette is crucial, so be mindful of it to have a pleasant experience during your travels in Japan. Happy exploring! Number 8. No outside food and drink.
Let's talk about consuming food or drinks purchased outside in stores or restaurants. Generally, it's prohibited to eat or drink items bought elsewhere inside these establishments. In restaurants, this rule helps maintain their sales and operations. In the case of other stores, this is prohibited due to the risk of contaminating products with food or leaving garbage behind. So, if you buy food or drinks from a supermarket or convenience store, it's best to enjoy them outside the shop, your hotel, or in designated areas. Respecting this rule ensures a pleasant experience and demonstrates consideration for local customs. Thank you for your understanding.
Number 9. No tipping system.
In many countries worldwide, tipping is a common practice. Whether you're at a restaurant, a hotel, or various other places, it's customary to leave a tip as a token of appreciation. However, Japan operates by a different set of rules when it comes to this custom. There is no tipping culture in Japan, so it can be quite a pleasant surprise for travelers. In Japan, you won't need to worry about how much to tip because there's no tipping culture. This unique aspect sets Japan apart from many other places like Western countries. From my experience working part-time at a restaurant when I was a university student, even if you tip the staff, it doesn't make the person money. Unfortunately, that will be added to the restaurant's sales. So, when you're in Japan, you can fully enjoy your experiences without the need to calculate tips.
Embrace this no tipping culture and savor your journey with peace of mind. Number 10. Don't overorder at last call.
In many Japanese restaurants, staff will come to take your last order about 30 minutes to an hour before closing. But here's the thing, please don't place a huge order at that time. The kitchen is already starting to clean up and prepare to close on time. It's totally fine to order something, but keeping it reasonable is appreciated. If you know you want more food or drinks, it's best to order before the last call. It shows respect for the staff and helps the restaurant close smoothly.
Number 11. Don't walk in at the closing time.
Many Japanese restaurants operate into main shifts, lunch from around 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and dinner from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, the staff usually take a break or prepare for dinner service. If you walk in right before closing, it can disrupt these preparations or delay their closing time. During lunch, it might affect how smoothly they transition to dinner. At night, staff may have to stay later than scheduled.
So try to avoid entering restaurants just before they close. Number 12. Respect Izakaya Etiquette.
In a previous video, I mentioned that water is usually free at restaurants in Japan. However, at Izakaya, Japanese pubs, it's considered bad manners to order only free water without ordering any paid drinks. Izakaya are primarily places to enjoy alcoholic beverages. If you're just looking for a meal without drinking, it's better to go to a regular restaurant. That said, if you don't drink alcohol, ordering a non-alcoholic drink is totally fine. And of course, if you need water as a chaser after drinking, that's perfectly acceptable too. But if you only ask for water and don't order anything else, the staff may feel uncomfortable. So please be mindful and respectful.
Number 13. No pets in the store.
When I lived in America, I was surprised to find that some customers brought their dogs and cats into restaurants and general stores. However, in Japan, it's generally prohibited to bring your pets into such places. This means that if you plan to enjoy some time with your pets, you'll need to find pet-friendly places or opt for outdoor locations like parks. Even when renting apartments or accommodations, many places adhere to this rule.
So it's something to keep in mind, especially for those planning longer stays in Japan. Number 14. Don't split the bill.
In Japan, some restaurants, like ramen or set meal places, allow separate checks, especially when everyone orders individually. But in izakaya or shared dish restaurants, splitting the bill is usually not possible. Even in casual spots, asking for separate checks for large groups can cause trouble. I've seen situations where tourists in big groups all ask to pay separately, causing long lines and slowing down the restaurant's business. If you're with more than 4 or 5 people, it's best to settle the bill among your group first and then pay all together. Trust me, staff will really appreciate this small act of consideration.
Number 15. Why you need yen.
In some countries, you can pay in US dollars, even if it's not the local currency. But in Japan, that's not the case. You can only pay in Japanese yen almost everywhere. There might be rare exceptions at some hotels or airports, but the exchange rate is usually terrible. Also, as I mentioned in a previous video, Japan is still a cash is king country.
So before you start exploring, make sure you have enough Japanese yen on hand. Number 16. Japan's coin etiquette.
Japan is still very much a cash-based society, and yes, you'll end up with a lot of coins after using bills. For first-time visitors, Japanese coins can be confusing. So many tourists just keep paying with bills. But later, they try to use only coins, even for big purchases. While there's no rule against it, paying with tons of coins can really slow down the cashier and cause frustration for staff. Instead, try to use small coins regularly for smaller purchases like convenience stores or vending machines. This helps keep your wallet light and keep store staff happy too.
Number 17. Don't haggle.
In Japan, most shops have fixed prices displayed, and there's typically no room for negotiation. This is because sales data is managed through a system that keeps track of all transactions. So, trying to haggle with staff will most likely result in a polite refusal, and it can even be seen as rude. However, some small, independent stores or shops that don't use a system may offer volume discounts if you buy in bulk.
In those cases, it's okay to ask carefully if a discount is possible. Number 18. Etiquette on the train.
If you've ever taken a train in Japan, you might notice something unusual. It's incredibly quiet, even when it's packed with people. That's because there's an unspoken rule in Japan. You should keep quiet on the train. Let's go over 3 important rules for riding trains in Japan. First, keep your voice down. Speaking loudly or using your phone on the train is considered rude. For many foreign travelers, the contrast of a crowded but silent train can be quite a unique experience. Second, be mindful of the priority seats. These seats are reserved for the elderly, people with disabilities, pregnant women, and those with young children. It's okay to sit in these seats if they're empty, but be prepared to give up your seat if someone in need comes along. Lastly, manage your belongings. In a crowded train, keeping small bags on your lap or in the overhead rack helps ensure everyone has enough space. If you're carrying a backpack, it's polite to take it off and hold it in front of you, so it doesn't bump into others. These practices were from Japan's respect for others, especially in the highly crowded trains.
Number 19. Avoid rush hour with luggage.
As I mentioned in a previous video, trains during rush hours in cities like Tokyo and Osaka can be extremely crowded. Trying to board a train with a large suitcase could result in not being able to get on at all, or facing discomfort from other passengers. Rush hours are typically from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays.
So if you are traveling with large bags, it's best to avoid these times or consider using other transportation options like taxis. Number 20. Travel right at popular tourist spot.
As I mentioned in a previous video, Japan is now a top destination for travelers, attracting tourists from all over the world. Popular sightseeing spots like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto can get very crowded. If you're carrying large luggage, you could be blocking paths and causing inconvenience to others. But don't worry. Japan's tourist areas have coin lockers and luggage storage services available at many locations. Take advantage of these services to enjoy a comfortable and hassle-free trip around Japan.
Number 21. Don't block the sidewalk.
In Japan, there's an unwritten rule that pedestrians should walk on the side of the sidewalk. This is because public spaces are meant to be shared, allowing faster walkers to pass easily. When a large group walks down the middle of the street, it can block the way for others. Additionally, some streets are shared with bikes and cars, so staying to the side is also safer.
Keep this in mind to avoid causing inconvenience and stay safe while walking in Japan. Number 22. Respect photo spots and sidewalks.
It's common for people to stop in the middle of the street to check maps or find directions on their phones. However, this can be very inconvenient for others walking behind you. Always move to the side of the road when stopping. The same goes for photo spots at popular tourist attractions. It's tempting to stop right at the spot to take a picture, but it's better to step aside so you don't block the view for others. Be mindful of the flow of people, and everyone will have a better experience.
Number 23. No littering.
Foreign friends often mention that while the streets in Japan are clean, finding the trash can be a bit challenging. Here's the deal. When you want to discard garbage in Japan, it's essential to use designated bins. Dropping trash on the streets is a strict no-go and is legally prohibited, carrying potential fines up to 10 million yen or imprisonment for up to 5 years, though actual cases of such penalties are quite rare. I think that the Japanese hold a strong cultural belief of taking your garbage home, contributing to fewer public trash cans. If you want to throw away trash in Japan, there are often trash cans at convenience stores or parks. So, when you're in Japan and need to dispose of garbage, be on the lookout for these designated spots rather than dropping it on the streets.
This mindful approach will help maintain Japan's cleanliness while you enjoy your trip. Thank you for understanding. Number 24. Smoke in designated area.
In Japan, you'll notice something unique when it comes to smoking. Unlike many other places around the world, smoking on the streets is strictly prohibited. Instead, you can only smoke in designated smoking areas, which are usually easy to find. This no-smoking policy is not only a result of Japanese people's strong sense of ethics, but also backed by the law. The idea is to keep the streets clean and free from cigarette litter. If you're caught smoking in undesignated areas, you might face a fine. Japan's cleanliness often astonishes foreign visitors, and this is one of the reasons why.
Number 25. Respect quiet space.
In Japan, public spaces are often very quiet, even if there are a lot of people around. For example, it's not uncommon to see people watching videos or listening to music on their phones in places like cafes or trains. However, many Japanese people consider this to be rude, as it can disturb others. So, always make sure to use headphones or earphones when enjoying music or videos in public places.
It's a simple way to be respectful and avoid disturbing others. Number 26. Obeying traffic rules, pedestrians' perspective.
One thing that might surprise you in Japan is how strictly pedestrians follow traffic signals. Even when there are no cars in sight and it's clearly safe, many people still wait for the green light. You might think that traffic rules here are very strict, but in fact, Japan has one of the safest traffic systems in the world. Drivers here are very careful, and it's rare to see reckless driving, so you can feel safe walking around.
Number 27. Obeying traffic rules, driver's perspective.
Traffic rules in Japan are different from many other countries. For example, in the US, cars drive on the right side of the road with left-hand steering, and you can turn right on red lights. But in Japan, cars drive on the left side with right-hand steering, and you must stop at a red light, even if there's no traffic. Recently, with the popularity of Mario Kart, many foreigners are driving in Japan, but some may not understand the local rules. I've even had guests ask if Japanese people dislike foreign drivers because of reckless driving, but that's not true. It's just that some tourists are unaware of the rules, which can lead to dangerous driving.
So if you plan to drive in Japan, make sure to learn the traffic alerts beforehand. Number 28. No tattoos policy at hot spring.
While tattoos hold different meanings worldwide, in Japan, they've long been associated with the Yakuza, Japan's organized crime syndicates. As a result, many onsen and public bath establishments have rules against admitting tattooed individuals. This practice might seem unusual, but it reflects Japan's deep respect for tradition and the importance of maintaining a peaceful atmosphere in these serene places. However, the good news is that attitudes are evolving, and some places now accept tattooed guests if they can be covered with waterproof patches or clothing. For example, you can enter Kinosaki Onsen even if you have a tattoo. So, it's a good idea to check the tattoo policies in advance. By respecting this culture, you'll not only enjoy Japan's famous hot springs, but also appreciate Japanese traditions that make the experience even more enriching.
Number 29. Taking off shoes inside home.
Foreign visitors might find this surprising, but in Japan, there's a common practice of taking off your shoes inside homes. While it's perfectly fine in hotels, you'll want to be mindful when staying at traditional inns, Airbnb, or visiting shrines, temples, and a friend's home. In Japan, it's not just about politeness, it's a deep-rooted custom. This practice ensures that the indoors remain clean and sacred. Stepping into someone's home with your shoes on can be considered quite impolite. So, when you visit Japan, embrace this culture.
Not only will you show respect, but you will also experience the authentic of Japanese living. Number 30. Restriction on drone use.
Worldwide, drones are a popular choice for photography and filming, but in Japan, there are stringent regulations dictating where you can fly them. The primary law governing drone usage in Japan is the Aviation Act. It's essential to note that flying drones isn't outright prohibited everywhere, but rather, specific areas are regulated. For precise details, it's best to check the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism's website. These restrictions are in place to ensure safety and respect for privacy. So if you're considering using a drone during your travels in Japan, at first, please check the regulations to ensure compliance.
How was today's video? If you would like a personal guide in Japan or need recommendations for travel plans and cultural experiences, please contact me from the link in the description section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like button. See you in my next video. Bye!